going on? This is Silent Mike from Mark Bell's Powercast, supertraining.tv, and howmuchyoubench.net. I'm here visiting Omar's channel. Gonna teach you guys a little bit about the deadlift. Everyone always talks about arch, don't round your back, you're gonna snap your shit up. All we wanna do is look for a neutral spine all the way from my tail to the top of my head. Whether you're deadlifting sumo, conventional, no matter your strength or your leverages, you're gonna try to find and maintain. However you start is how you want to end. The best starting position is going to lead to the strongest pull. You can get away with stuff all the way up to maybe 500-600 pounds. Once you want to really pull some big weight, you got to leave no stone unturned and work on every little thing. With the conventional stance, you're going to keep a little bit of spacing between your feet. It's going to depend on your leverages, arm length, all of that. I like to cut my feet in half with the bar. I also like to keep my stance a little more narrow than some. I go with it underneath my shoulders, a little bit thinner than my shoulders, like a jump stance. You're just gonna keep that, maintain that neutral spine, head down, chin tuck, pull lumbar, all the way through. Those two rules stand for whether you're doing the sumo or not. The only difference with sumo is you're gonna end up being a little bit closer to the bar. You can point your toes out just a little bit. It forces your knees out, gets them out of the bar path. Same thing, neutral spine. Shoulders higher than your hips at the starting point, all the way through. Two common mistakes I see in the deadlift from beginner all the way to advanced is one, often pullers don't hinge with their hips. They're more hinging on their lumbar and low back, which once again doesn't mean you're going to end up in the hospital necessarily, but it's not the most efficient way to pull. What you really want to do is keep that spine neutral. I'm going to drive through my quads, and I'm going to finish with my hips. What you'll see is once you get a little bit rounded with those heavy weights, you're kind of getting to that C, that fish pull, and now it'll be really hard to lock out, and you're all relying on your low back and your lumbar and not utilizing your glutes and your hands. The second thing I see very common with tons of people is when beginning to pull a weight, their hips will shoot up, turning it into a stiff leg, and then they have to finish it all with their low back and glutes. Two things to prevent that. Both depend on pulling slack out of the bar and finding tightness. Finding tightness in the bench and the squat is pretty easy compared to the deadlift. If you want to rack a heavy weight on your shoulders, your life's on the line, you're going to brace yourself and find some kind of tightness. Same with the bench press. It's a little unnatural to have a heavy weight over your neck and chest. You're going to brace and you're going to find some type of tightness. With the deadlift, there's two main things that we're looking for. One, I believe Couch Hamilton, Omar's training partner, mentioned about pulling your lats and your scapula into your front pocket, which is a great cue. The one thing I'd add to that is keeping the bar as close to your body as possible and bracing and tightening with your lats the entire movement. This will keep the bar close to your body, and with weight shifting out in front of you, that's often when your hips will shoot up. Pulling your lats down in front and pulling the bar into your body, rubbing it up your shins through the whole movement will help prevent keeping your hips low until it's time to fire your glutes. It's almost like that old school bodybuilding movement. You see like a stiff arm pull down, you're pulling here with your lats. That's the same thing you're doing here. You're arching up, pulling the shoulders high, pulling your lats down, keeping that bar tight. The other thing with pulling out slack is where your weight distribution is. You almost want to be falling backwards. Especially with the sumo pull, you want to get all your weight behind the bar. Conventional, it's going to be a little harder. Your shoulders are going to end up being a little bit in front of the bar depending on your leverages. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to pull the bar into my body. I'm going to jump my hips, start rotating back, put that weight onto my hamstrings, then initiate the pull. Same for the sumo. Line up, grab the bar. I'm going to actively pull that bar into my body, pull it with my lats, get the weight on my heels, falling backwards, weight behind the body, and pull. Those are a couple tips that hopefully help you with your deadlift. If you're looking for more information, head over to supertraining.tv, and you can find me on Instagram at silentmike with 2 Ks. Whether you're a beginner, novice, or advanced, an easy way and the best way, in my opinion, to work on your form, getting those motor patterns down for all 3 lifts, is hanging out at about 70 to 80% of your 1 rep max for either singles or doubles. Try to be explosive, but really focus on whatever issues you're having with your lift.